All right, so second derivatives with implicit differentiation. This is something we haven't done in class, but I'm just going to jump right in because I think it's all skills that we have. It's just a matter of, kind of an extra little step involved here that we have to kind of work with. So this is one where we're deriving with respect to x because it's dy dx. I'm just going to d dx everything, okay? And so I'm going to d dx each term. So the derivative of 5x squared with respect to x is just 10x. I could tag on to x prime, but remember that x prime is just x dx over dx, dx, and that just equals 1, right? So it's just going to be 10x. And then when I take the derivative of y squared, I'm going to get 2y. But there I do have to tag on a y prime, right? Because that's dy dx. And then when I take the derivative of 4, that just turns out to be 0. All right, so same first step that we usually do with implicit differentiation. The same next steps too, we're going to solve for y prime, so we're going to isolate it. So I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. So we get 2y times y prime. Y prime equals, and I'll reduce this, so 10 over 2 is just 5 over 1, right? So it'll just be negative 5x over y. All right, so we have y prime, I don't know what happened there. Y prime equals negative 5x over y. That's our simplified. You don't necessarily have to simplify this because this isn't the final answer, but it's helpful to simplify now because it'll save you some work at the on the back end. So now what we're going to do is remember that this is dy dx that we just found, right? Y prime. And so what we're going to do is we're going to d dx this again. Okay, so we're going to d dx this again. And what that'll give us here, when we d dx dy dx, that gives us d squared dx squared, right? Because we get one more dx. So that gives us a dx squared. We get one more d, so that's how we get the d squared. And the y is what it is, okay? So in other words, this is also y double prime if you want. Okay, so that's what we get on the left. Now on the right side, when we d dx everything, now we have a quotient rule going on, right? And so what we're going to have to do is we remember, or we can consider this our f function and this our g function. So we're going to do f prime. So the derivative of negative 5x is negative 5 times g. So it'll be f negative 5 times y. And then on the minus, then we'll do g prime. So the derivative of y with respect to x is going to be y prime. And then we'll tag on the negative 5x, right? Okay, and so that's our f prime g minus g prime f. And then on the bottom, we have g squared, right? So we're just going to have y squared. All right, now that's pretty much it. Nothing new except for we have this y prime in here, right? And we're not solving for y prime anymore. We want to know d squared y dx squared. And so what we have to do is we want it in terms of x and y, not in terms of x, y, and y prime. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this value for y prime back in there. So we're going to substitute negative 5x over y in for y prime, and that'll get everything in terms of x and y, okay? So then that'll be negative 5y minus negative 5x over y times negative 5x all over y squared, okay? Now, this is 2 points, the way I've graded these on the last quiz. We had one of these. Sorry, this is 2 points if you get here. If you simplify all the way, and I'm not going to do this all in the video, but if you get a common denominator here and, well, actually, excuse me, multiply these together. So you think of negative 5x as negative 5x over 1, right? And then you multiply those together, then get a common denominator here. So you multiply by y on top and bottom, right? and then you can combine this whole numerator into a fraction, right? And then you can keep change flip with this denominator, and that'll get you to one fraction simplified, and that's worth an extra point if you get to that point. Okay, so um, just in the sake of time, I'm going to stop the video here because we're almost at the end of the day, and I want to make sure you have this available. And the rest is, kind of algebra stuff that I think you've done before, but I'm happy to help if you're a little rusty on it or if you need some help. So anyway, have a good rest of your day, and let me know if you need anything.